India's IT services, Nifty IT, down 17% in the past month, nearly 50 billion wiped out. And one of the theories is that the prices these companies were charging are obviously going down because of AI, but the number of projects that they're getting are going up. For instance, Anthropic doesn't have a services arm, and India is the back office of the world. Do you see these global AI companies partnering with Indian IT services companies, for that implementation part?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was with Cognizant CEO, in Davos, and and I think I've seen it from a lot of IT services players, and you can even put Accenture and others into this. I mean, look, this is going to be a huge opportunity for them. The view that, and you see in the stocks that IT services, like best days in the rearview mirror, AI is going to be a huge headwind. Look, you see right now, AI is almost like a ghost trade that's been a huge threat for software as well. I disagree with it. I think this is going to be a huge opportunity. These companies are going to position themselves to monetize. And I think that's something that's also playing out too. They will be the IT services partners for the infrastructure players. And I think that's something that's going to be a huge phase of growth. I also think you're going to see a lot of consolidation, in terms of as this all plays out, not just in India, but globally.
I wonder what that does then to the concerns around valuation, overvaluation in India, price to earnings ratio landscape. Is India the next big location for investment, according to you?
I think it's going to be a huge area of investment. I think just given the technology, given the engineering talent in the country, and also look with Modi, I think what you're seeing from a, from a government perspective, look at Apple. I mean, for years, Apple was very hesitant to invest in India, and you could say maybe because of tariffs. But the other thing is that it's, a lot of the sort of, I think hurdles have been cleared to make sure that those investment dollars are good investment dollars. I think that's why Apple has made some of those significant CapEx dollars in the country. I think that's the start of what's going to be, I think you're going to see a lot of innovative companies that start up in this new era.
Dan, I just want to pick up the software conversation with you again. The Mistral CEO, Arthur Mensch, he told me in an interview we did yesterday that he believes around 50% of an enterprise's current software stack could effectively be switched to AI. And this feeds into those fears in the market that actually more advanced AI could eat into the business models of some of these SaaS companies. You've said that there's particular names that you like that you believe have been sold off too much in this software sell-off. But how do you respond to what the Mistral CEO has said?
Yeah, and look, I get the statement. I think there's a better chance of me playing in the NBA than that happening. Because the reality is that from an infrastructure perspective, this is the most disconnected trade I've seen in my career, in terms of what's happened in software. Is there this disruption? And obviously they're one of the players. You see what they're doing in Europe. But the reality is that enterprise software is going to see a huge tail end in terms of AI. And I think that continues to be, that's why it's a ghost trade right now. You can't fight a ghost, and that continues to be a huge overhang in the sector. But again, this speaks to just the opportunities, but also the challenges for these companies they monetize. But that's a Salesforce, ServiceNow. You look at cybersecurity, Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, among others. Look at Microsoft. Look, these are, I think, some of the most disconnected companies that I've seen in this trade in terms of, stocks that we're super bullish on.